of Dr. Tesfaye. And now I'm going to read about Tsigereda Nigussie, who's an accomplished English teacher at Tsigereda Girls Boarding Secondary School, and also serves as a part-time instructor at Addis Ababa University, Ethiopia. She holds both a BA and MA in TEFL from Addis Ababa University and is currently pursuing her PhD in the same field. With 18 years of teaching experience across various high schools, Tsigereda has honed her expertise in English language education. She's also a dedicated executive committee member of the Ethiopian English Language Professionals Association. Beyond her professional achievements, Tsigereda is a devoted wife and mother to 2 children, a son and a daughter. Thank you very much, Ababa, and over to you.
Thank you, Yosef. Thank you very much for the brief bios of the 2 presenters. Now I directly go to the presenters, and I'd like to, the presenters to take us through their presentation. Those of you who are really attending this presentation, if you have any question, any comment, make sure that you write it in the chat box so that so the presenters will address almost all of your questions and comments. Thank you very much. Now over to you, to the presenters.
Thank you very much, Yosef, and for the kind introduction. And hello, everyone. Today we're going to see integrating digital tools in ELT classroom. Where can we get the free ones? Sorry. My connection couldn't go to the next slide. Sorry, coming back. So the purpose of the webinar for today is to enable the participants identify Google tools for ELT, explore different digital options for ELT, and provide practical experiences of digital tools for ELT. In our today's presentation, Tsigereda and I are going to cover the following points. What free Googles for ELT, in what context and situation to use Google tools in ELT, why focus on Google tools for ELT, and why integrating digital tools in ELT in general, and what to consider when integrating digital tools in ELT. These are some of the points we're going to cover. And to start with, I would invite Tsigereda to take you through through the few slides we're going to have. Over to you, Tsigereda. Would you join us? I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Tesfaye. And let's start from what we have, you have already introduced to our viewers. So as Tesfaye said, that we are going to focus more on, specifically more on the Google digital tools, but we're not going to just cover all of the forms, but very few forms, because we have given very few minutes, so that we are going to try to address very shortly and a very basic one. So let me share my yeah, is it visible?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so let's start from our discussion with 3 questions. What free digital tools of English language teaching do you know, or have you ever used in your English classes, and which ones have you ever used, and for which skills? Let me ask you these questions for the participants, and I'm going to proceed to my different types of Google Forms. Would you please just give us some explanations about the different free digital tools for English language teaching? Which ones do you think that you are going to use? Or for which kinds of skills do you think that you use these tools? Let me give a chance for participants. Okay, you can write your responses on the chat box too. Okay, you can raise your hands and start your participation.
They're writing in the chat box. You can check the chat box. They're
Okay.
saying Google Classrooms for sharing content, assignments, and feedback. This is from Amoni. And there is also, I use Yuglish for pronunciation. This is Shifarao. And there is Amoni again, skills vary, but mostly writing and reading assignments. Lalia Ahmed is Chat GPT. This is, I think, also, I personally, as a language instructor, I frequently use YouTube videos to teach listening, pronunciation, and speaking skills. And there is Techno Mentimeter, Professor Bismarck from Uganda. I have used Google Classroom via Google Meet and Google Drive to improve digital skills. And it goes on like this. And again, Amoni, I have also used voice, yeah, it says for speaking. I think, yeah, voice rate for speaking, Padlet Rata. So that's it. So they will keep on like writing their responses so you can continue.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for your responses. That's very interesting. Most of you have already tried to use these Google types of forums. And let me start from the very first one. As you have already told us that you have already used some of the Google forms. And let me start to show you how you can just access the Google form. So in order to just search for this Google form, you can just click here and you can write the google.com and you can find it there. You can also just, can you see my screen maybe?
Yeah.
Very good. So there are on the top right corner, there are about 9 dots. You can also click there and you can search it here. And if you can't find it from the previewed already stuffs, you can scroll down and search for Google Forms. And if you can't find it here, or there are also another option, you can, if you have a Google Drive, you just directly pass to your Google Drive and search it for, okay, let me make it like this. And yeah, we can just find it here. And like this, wait, there is a Google form here. You can just search it from here. You can also search it in Google Docs. So when the first preview that you get is this one, there are different templates that's already made by the Google. So if you want to choose one of it, you can choose one of them. If you don't want, and if you want to create your own, you just click here, the plus sign. Then you're going to have such a preview. This is a Google form. So the very first thing that you should do is try to just give a title for your Google form. You can just write, like, let's say, for example, if it is test 3, let's say, and when you click it here, it immediately copy it here and make it like this. Then if you just want to have a header and a header here, you can just give a template. There are different themes here. You can choose an image here for your header, already made images. If you want your own image, you can also use your image. And let's try to search one of the images here. Let's make it like this. And you insert it and you have your own headings for your test. And the next one is you are going to make different things here. Google Form is used for different purposes like research works as well as questions, quizzes, tests, and in the classroom. So as we are talking about classroom, so let's try to use the different tests, quizzes, and exams. So the type of exam that you want to give in this form is, it's up to you to choose from this button. You may just give a short answer, paragraph form, multiple choice, checkbox, drop downs. You can also just make it a matching or a multiple choice grids and checkbox grid, whatever your choice. Let me give you an example. Let's make it a multiple choice. Here, you can write your question. Here is, for example, what is tense, you can say. This might be your question. So you can have your option here. Choice A. It's going to be a time expression and kind of things. Then when you enter, it gives you a next choice. You just make it B and write the responses like this. Then enter, you make choices here. You can make it like this, multiple choice. If you want to discard it, you can just discard it in here like this. If you just finish question number 1 like this, you can just add another template by using this plus sign, or you can also you can duplicate it here. I can make it duplicate like this, or I can add some more option like this. Here, when you are just making the next question might be a short answer. When you finish your multiple choice questions, you can make like a paragraph writing. So you just give them the questions, write the questions here, and it gives you a space for the students to give the responses in the paragraph form, a very short answer, and it gives you like this. You can also import questions that you have already made in another ways. For example, if you have got already made questions in your Google Drive, you can import it from there and put it in here. And you can also add a title and a kind of description here. You can have another option for description and the question forms. And you can also insert different images here, videos and kind of things. Then the next one is, you can just, when you finish this one, in most cases, when you preview different questions for the students, different slides in one section or in one page, it's going to be very boring. So in order to avoid this, you can just divide it into different sections, and some questions in one section, and they're going to just go to the next section and do the other things. So the next one is, you can preview. When you finish this, you can just here move this folder into any places that you want to move. And we have another options in this grid. So you can make a copy of your file or your questions. You can also move it to the trash or delete it. You can just insert different links here. You can also print it here and kinds of. The very important thing is you can add a collaborator here. You may add some of your colleagues to have a sort of an editor position. So you can add as a person, you can just send him a link in his mail in Gmail. So you can add, like, for example, I add Nabil Mohammed here as an editor position, and I just give him a notice. You can say, please notify this. I can write like this a message and I can send it to Nabil. Or if I don't want to just send it into email, I can just simply, an editor, the other option, you can just copy the link and you can paste it into different social medias like Telegram, WhatsApp, and kind of things. So that person might serve you and be with you just to work with you. Sorry. And the next thing, when you finish working on your stuff, so you can just send it into, you have a undo and redo part here, and you can just send it to the students. So here, we add collaborator here, and we can make a copy of it. Then finally, when we finish, we can just post it. The questions will be prepared like this. And regarding the responses, there are different, the responses of the students will be, sorry. I'm sorry for the interruption. I'm sorry, I have something to just fix here, sorry. So I can just create a new here. as I told you earlier, our Google work is test 3. If it is test 3, it is assumed that we have test 1 and test 2. So all the responses will be sent immediately, sent or uploaded to the Excel file. So that is Google Sheet to the Google version, Excel for the Microsoft Office. So it's going to be immediately recorded there, the responses of the students. So if I have already once the answer or the responses of the students is already registered in the already created spreadsheet, I just chose this one. If it is the first test, I can select, I can select the new one here. I can create new, or if I have already the existing spreadsheet, I am going to select this. Then I will say select, and the responses will be directly passed to the Google Sheets like this. Okay. So regarding the settings, there are different versions of this Google form. The first one is you can just make this quiz. You can assign different point values for each answers. You can set answers. You can automatically provide feedbacks. In order to do this, you just simply open this key button. So here, the response depends. After the student has already submitted these responses, it immediately gives them their grades. If you don't want this, and if you want your respondents or your students want to see their grades and their results, you can choose this one, and later after the manual review. And you can just, the students may look at different versions here like this. The missed question, the student can preview the missed questions. They can correct answers. Sometimes when after the submission, there are arrows which shows that the correct answer and the incorrect answer. If it is open like this, it's going to show the students will preview that part. You can put the point value for each questions like this. If your questions has got it's out of 10 and 10 points, 5 points, you can adjust it here. And these are some of the major features of this Google format. Then after you have already said, you are going to send it to the students. So finally, when you finish this, if you want to preview the way how it appears to your respondents, you are going to touch this preview works. Then it's going to be the way how it preview to your students is going to be like this. After they have already answered, they are going to submit it and it will come to you. The next part, the next Google slide is going to be, let me get back to here, and the next is Google Doc. Let me just insert in another way. Let me open my drive. So in my drive, there is a plus sign or new, the new cursor. Then I just make it like this and search for Google Docs, Google Sheet, Google Slide, Google Form. We can access it from here. So let me directly pass to the Google Doc. Google Doc is an equivalent form for Microsoft Word. Whatever there in the Microsoft Word is already here. The difference is this is online and that one is offline. You can use that offline. So this is the way how it appears first to you. This is a document, and here you can use different functions. As you have seen, first you just write the title or your document's title. Let's make, for example, this is paragraph writing. If you are going to give them an assignment for a paragraph writing or quiz for paragraph writing, you just make it like this. And there are different features here like that of, same is true like that of the Microsoft Word. We have files here. There are different things here. You can search for a new Google Documents. We can open, we can make it a copy, we can share, we can download it. We can also send it to email of other people. We can rename it again. We can move it, and we can add it to our Google Drive, and we can move it through to Rush, and lots of features here in the file. We can also edit part. There is undo and redo. We can paste it and doing like this. In the view form, we have different types of modes, and we can also give comments for the given exercises, and there are different features here. In the case of insert, for example, if it is a paragraph writing, let's take, for example, if you are expected to search for an image, if they are expected to search for an image, or you want to give them an image to write for the students, you can upload images from where it's there in your computer, from the drive or for any position in your computer. You can also search from the web, for example. In order to search from the web, I can just like this, let's say Lalibela. Then there is Lalibela Church, Lalibela pictures. So the Google gives me different pictures of Lalibela, and I chose this one. And I said insert. It automatically came to my view. Then I can edit it. When I click it, it gets easily edited. So I can just minimize the position, and I can also make it like this. You can have different kinds of, you can edit it like this, and you can give them to write on this. And if you just don't want to just use the internet, and you can insert different images from the Google Drive if you have got a photo, and even you use your camera to just pick up pictures immediately. And the format, the paragraph style, the alignment, the lines and paragraph spacing, many more for just equivalent to that of the word stuff. There is a spelling, grammar checker, word counts, and variety of different uses. So let me create a new one, and let me show you if you want to give them format like you just order them to paragraph writing, as you said, paragraph writing here, and they are going to insert different tables. If you want just tabular form, you can just add tables like this. And if you want to draw pictures, you can also draw pictures like this, new. We can draw a picture here like this. For example, we can, let's say, check or select different shapes. Let me just drag this and put these pictures like this. And this is for, let me double click it and I can write it. This is for the introduction part. Introduction part. Then next, for the body part, I can just have another shape like this. And I can also drag it like this in the second part. It's going to be for the body part. I double click it and I write it body. And put it like this. For the conclusion part, I'm going to give them another box like this. And again, I will drag this again. And you can edit this again, and this is for conclusion part. And you can give different colors in order to make it very clear for the students. So I can make it like this, another color for the body one. I can fill different colors like this. And for the conclusion again, we will give them like this, and you can just give them like this, and the students will double click in each boxes and they write their introduction, their body and conclusion, and they will submit it finally. And if you want to have another features, you can just make it bold, italicized, underline, different colors of the text, and variety of every feature that is there in the Microsoft is already here. Then when we save and close, it automatically appears to your Google Doc feature. So you are asking the students to share this. Then after you have already this done, you can even comment them. We can just comment, like, for example, if somebody write it like this, save it like this in here. Sorry. So when I want to add comment in here, for example, if somebody writes something in here, let's say, I can make it like this. No, wait. Add comment. Then I can write my comments. Try to summarize I can say, summarize more, I can say. So when I just make it enter, it just it gives a comment for the students. So if I want to see all the comments, it will preview the comments here, the time when does the last option or the last time, and the last editing has already done, it will show us. And here there is a button of a Google Meet. This is another tool for Google Forms, and we can just make it collaboratively, or we can just simply try to make integratively. So we can do it online together. Let's say, for example, I am here and my students already there at home. We can just work collaboratively live. So by using Google Meet, so I give them this exercise, they are going to write and send it to me. I am going to comment and they are going to just comment me back. And this is the way we can use them integratively. Then after we have already done all this, we can even edit it. Then we are going to before sharing, there are different sharing forms. If I just want to share it, I can just copy the link and post it to any social media. They might have Telegram groups and kind of thing. We just share this one for the students, and the students immediately receive. Then they are going to send it back to me, and we can work. We can work collaboratively. So this is another example for another form of Google for the Google Forms, and the next will be dealt with by Dr. Tesfaye. Dr. Tesfaye will tell you about the other forms. Thank you for staying with me.
Thank you, Tsigereda. That's a very good one. Really, an interesting explanation. I think that's a very good training. I was thinking that it's sometimes difficult to have, practical sessions in online situation, and you did it very well, really. And let me share my screen. I will be taking you through Gemini and classrooms, maybe to Google bloggers too. Wait, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I think my slide is, some of you were telling us that you already know the ChatGPT, for example, as a search engine, and as an AI search engine, and Gemini or Gemini, I don't know which one is the right pronunciation, but Gemini, let me say, is one of the AI tools that you can use for searching. And I would quickly take you to my other screen. Where is it? Where is my Gmail? Yeah. Good. As Tsigereda was mentioning, we can go to, sorry, we can go to the 9 dots. Where is it? Where is it? Where is my screen? Can you see it? Sorry. Maybe this one. Oh, it's not the one. Sorry. Okay. Where is it? Sorry. Yeah, I think this one. Yeah, but I couldn't see. Okay, yeah, got it. Sorry. Though you can get to the tools from the apps from Google, and as you can search Gemini. You can click on Gemini. Yeah. Gemini, and as any other AI tool, you will have a search space, and so you can write any prompt you would like to write. For example, how can I use Gemini? Sorry. How can I use Gemini? Can I use Gemini for language learning, learning? And once you get that, once you write that, then it will start searching and give you answers to the questions. Yeah, it has already written it. I can see that. Yeah, here they are. Okay, the answers are given here. Grammar and structure, vocabulary building, conversation practice. These are some of the responses given. Conversation practice, for example, role playing, correcting mistakes, vocabulary building. So Gemini can help you with this. This is what it says. And if you have, visual problem, you can still listen to the search by clicking on this sign here. Yeah. So you can listen to it, and Gemini can search not only text, can give you not only text, you can also add images, or you can also speak into the microphone, and so that you can have a search of the audio you have spoken. And through that, Gemini can help you with your own language learning, again, with the teaching of English to your students. For example, if you are teaching listening, I think listening, and you do not have the audio of the text you have, probably you can search it here. If your listening text is about technology, for example, you can write the search, the idea here, how technology is assisting language learning, for example, how technology is assisting language learning. You can write this and then prepare a sort of pre-listening activity and a while listening activity for this, and then ask the Gemini to read this, the screen read this, and then the students can listen to and answer the questions that they are going to, you have already given them. So the Gemini can help you briefly this way. Coming back to the other tools, for example, the other tool we're going to see is the Google Classroom. As I say it, Google gives us all the tools in one place. On the left side of, once you open your Gmail, on the right side, sorry, on the right corner of your screen, you find these 9 dots. Then when you click on the 9 dots, you get all the applications that Google gives you in one place. And so you go to the Google Classroom here. Here it is. You click on that. Okay, I have a number of classrooms already created. Maybe if I can show you one of my courses, ICT integration to in ELT lessons, you see I have already created a lesson. I can stream, I can add classwork. There are some class activities already added in here, including the listening cue. You know, Classroom is integrated with the Google form, so you can create a queue in the Google form. I have already created one. I can or I can create a new one by clicking on this. Yeah, that you can add a quiz assignment or an assignment or a question or a material, or you can also reuse a post, or you can add a topic. Similarly, you can go here, you can add teachers, you can also add students by clicking on the plus sign here. You can invite teachers, you can, if you are teaching, if you are doing this teaching in a team, you can add another teacher, adding someone from the lists you have. For example, I have number of people here, probably Joseph. Let me add Joseph as a co-teacher here. So I have invited Joseph. When Joseph accepts my invitation, he will be a co-teacher here. Similarly, students, I can add by clicking on the plus sign here. Maybe Tsigereda, I'm going to add you as a student, invited. So I have invited Tsigereda. She will be part of the students that I have. Google Classroom also assist you with the grading. You can grade the activities of your learners by adding some marks to the activities you add in the for the course you are teaching. Maybe going back to the classroom, you can add a new class by clicking on this plus sign. Click on this, you can join an existing class, or you can create a new. To agree on this, then continue. You have agreed on the terms, then what do you write? You write like the class name. For example, if the class name is the technology, educational technology in ELT, then you write that as a title. And the section, let's say this is section A, the subject is English, let me say English, and then what else is left? The room, you can decide, it's optional, room 1, and then create. It's taking a bit. Okay, you see, my new class is already created, and I have a new class code which the students have to know in order to join my class. This is class code already, and I will give this to my students, and then they will join my class. They will be able to join my class. As I say it, any other thing that I want to do after that, I can create a classwork. I can add people, students, myself, and the grading the same way. This is about Google Classroom. Maybe a blogger, the other tool of the Google, from Google is the Google blog. A Google blog. You see, scroll down, you find Blogger here. Then you click on Blogger because I have already created some blogs already. I see some of them in here. For example, this one is one of my posts. Web blended Carl, can a teacher with basic ICT skills design online lessons? It's an abstract written here, and students can read and comment on this. If I want to update it, I can update it. If I want to preview it, I can also preview it. And the preview option can be a desktop option, can be a tablet option, or it can be a smartphone option, the preview. But since I'm using my desktop, I can view the desktop option. This option gives me, and then I can easily see my blog. this is an already created blog, but you can create a new post by clicking on new. The plus sign here, you can give it a title. You can give it a title. What you want to give it? An extensive reading activity. Maybe if you want, I don't know, any blog name that you want to give, and then you may, and this sheet, you can write the pre-reading activity, for example, if you have a pre-reading, if you want to do reading, and then you can write some 2 or 3 questions you want students to do, and this way you can continue writing the questions. Then you can bring a text from somewhere and paste here if you like. For example, do I have one? Maybe this might be taking some time. So anyway, you can copy from a Word file, a Microsoft Word file, you can bring and paste it here, and you get the text. Since I'm taking a bit of time, I think that's that. Then once you do that, you can preview it. You can preview the text that you have written. Can be seen here. Yeah, the preview, the thing that I have written is already there. Extensive reading activity, pre-reading, 1, 2, 3, I have written it, and you can preview it. Once you preview it, then after that, you decide what to improve, then you publish. You publish your post. You publish. You have checked that it's well written, then you can publish whatever you have written. Since this is just a draft, I don't want to publish it, so I cancel this. Not to take my time on the rest, maybe I would allow Tsigereda to go through the rest. To the rest, the Google slides, probably. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Tesfaye. So I really appreciate the way how you present. Let me directly pass to the Google slide. I have to show you how it's going to work. So let me share my screen. And
sorry, Tsigereda, we have only 10 minutes. If it's possible, try to make it as short as possible so that we can have a few minutes for discussion. Thank you very much.
Fine, okay. Okay, let me make it short, and here is the way how we can just access our Google form. No. Yeah. Yeah, I can even use it this one and Google slide. Yeah, sometimes we may not find the forms in here in this stuff, so that we can make more from Google. Then we can scroll down and we can get a lot of Google forms at the bottom part. So let me search it here. Google slide. Where is my slide? Okay. Google slide.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there is. Okay. Google slide here, we can just find different Google slides. Slide means, as you all know, we can, it is an equivalent form for Microsoft PowerPoint. So we can just, sorry. Yeah, let me search it in here. Google slide here. I have a slide. Yeah, I can find it here. So when we open this slide, as usual, it has its own already made templates, and we can create a new one. So when we create a new one, it's just almost the same to that of the Microsoft PowerPoint. So we can create here, click here to the titles, different titles. We can also click here for different versions of writing. We can import different different kinds of, we can import different pictures, videos, and kind of things. So again, we can just make it a title in here like this. You can write your title. Same is true, it has file, edit, and it's almost the same. And we use it for different presentation, online presentations. This is very useful slideshows here. When we just make a, we can present a view. We can you can make it present a view when you are going to start presentation. And we just if you want to add some more slides, you can just click or to the plus sign. We have undo, redo. We can print it. We can fix it with different kinds of formats. We can just insert images, insert shapes, as I have already shown you in the Google Doc. So you can just write a background, can change the background with different colors, with different styles and modes as that of the stuff. So you can comment. Again, we can also use this integratively with the Google Meet. So we can just interact or work collaboratively with our students on live session. And after we have already made all the our templates or our slides like this and written all the forms, we can also share here. And we can just also add here a reviewer, an editor in here that to that of just like that of the Google form. I know we don't have time. I cannot continue. So this is what it looks like, and we can just make it like this, and we can just use it for our presentation for our students, and we can share this finally when we finish. We can share. When we share, there is it's not titled, then so we can share. Same is true like that. Or we can just share it in emails, or we can also share it to copy the link and paste it to their different social medias. And the next one is the last one that I'm going to deal with due to the time constraint. It is Google Scholar. As you know, Google Scholar is a scholarly kind of form. We are going to use it more for research works, and Scholar, I think, is not here, so I have to search it there. Go in the Google Scholar, we can find a lot of resource works, whether published or unpublished resources for our classroom as well as for our research. It doesn't mean that it works only for researchers, but we can get a lot of resources for this is Google Scholar. Resources for our classroom as well as for the research works. So let me just focus on very limited kinds of stuff. Let's search for scholars. It says we can write different scholars, or when if you are researching a certain topic, for example, if you are teaching grammar indirectly or implicitly, there are different scholarly written or published kinds of works. So there are PDF works. These are already published. You can easily access the PDF of these works. So they are here. You can save it to your library. So when you try to save this to your library, it's already put in your library. You can just refer it back another time. Here there is a site. You can cite the different if you have already taken something from this work, you should cite. So the citation might appear like this. If you have the citation, for example, I have an EndNote to cite. So when you just try to click on EndNote, it will download it there, and it's automatically cited in your paper. And here, cited by, this is very important. If you want to have a credible kinds of source, it has got a lot of sites. For example, this has 389 sites. The next one have about 15 sites. So more credible and more reliable source will be those which has more sites. Here we can also search for something which is a related article to this title, and it has about 7 versions. You can access this 7 version in here. So whenever I save here, let me just directly pass to this stuff. So it has about different features here. My profile, you should always register in order to access this. Register yourself like this, and you can just have your own profile. Then you have a library. For example, this is my library. I have referred a lot of materials and saved it to my library. I can cite it and I can label it. For example, you might have put a lot of resources in the library, and whenever you want to access it, you have to label it. For example, I just label it as a research. That means this is very important for my research work. This is for my researchers. I have already labeled it. I will show you how to label it. And this is for research, for reading the texts. There are also VIP. So how am I going to manage my label? Here, manage label. See, and I have 3 labeling here. There are documents, which is put in the research works for reading purpose as well as for VIP. So this is the way how I label it. For example, if you want to create new label, okay, you can just, for example, VIP2. Okay, then you can create your labels, and whenever you just save.
I'm sorry, Tsigereda. Thank you. Thank you
Okay.
very much indeed. It
Okay,
has been so triggering,
okay.
and I really appreciate the presentation. If we have questions from the presenters, let's give time for them, and
Sure.
you guys can give your answers about that.
Okay,
So,
okay.
for example, one of the questions that I've read is Gemini helpful for presentation?
Okay, may I come?
Go ahead, you can.
Okay. As Dr. Tesfaye told you, it's going to be an artificial intelligence which gives you a lot of information about what the topic that you have already given you. It is considered as your assistant. So it will assist you to do whatever the work or whatever the topics that you asked. So it is a sort of an artificial intelligence like that of the ChatGPT as well as the Microsoft Copilot. So it's just a kind of assistant which gives you a lot of answers for the questions that you provide. It will also provide you a picture that if you want to just teach about something, you just ask him to draw a picture of that thing and it will give you a picture. You can print it and you can present it to your classroom. So this is the way how you are going to use the Gemini. So if Dr. Tesfaye have something to add on this, please.
I think you said it well. I don't have much to add.
Okay. Babakana, I've read some questions in the chat, so let me read to the presenters so if they can.
Go ahead, Naveen. Go ahead.
Okay. Malanga asked that sometimes in students writing, they don't respect the 3 parts. So how can we teachers give a grade to that part? So it's more of related to grading. And another question from Dax. He indicated that this topic is very interesting. It's a good area for high school and elementary teachers. But how can teachers use these tools like Google Forms and others, since students are not allowed to bring cell phones in some schools? So Tsigereda and Dr. Tesfaye, if you have a few response or short response for this. Thank you.
I'm not sure if I have understood the first question related to the grading, but the second question about using the Google Forms, the Google, all the Google tools actually in schools might be difficult where cell phones are not allowed. But I think we can give them, if the teacher knows about the Google tools, which are really helpful for language learning, I think he can give it as a home take assignment where learners can access their parents' cell phone. They may also have their own cell phones at home, which they keep because the school doesn't allow them, that they don't bring them to the schools, but they may have them at home. So if the teacher gives them as a home take assignment of things that they can do on any of the tools like the Google Form or the Google Docs, the Google Slide, and the teacher can also be there, for example, while they are doing a certain activity on the Google Doc out of the school time. I think they can, the teacher can provide a real-time support on the Google Doc, for example.
Thank you, Dr. Tesfaye. I'm sorry we are running out of time. Of course, we have a number of questions that we should touch upon. but I suggest to continue the discussion on our Telegram channel, because there are a number of other questions that we should raise. And I wish we can continue this discussion in our Telegram group. We are left with now, I think with 1 or 2 minutes. Now it's time for certification. And I would like to give the chance to Mr. Yusuf, the president of Ethiopian English Language Professionals Association. I think he has a say on the presentation, and then we're going to come up to the end of the presentation. Thank you all. Yusuf?
Thank you very much indeed, Ababal. It was really interesting. And I think we need to wrap up as we bring actually this enriching session to a close. I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the entire team, to our esteemed presenters for sharing their invaluable insights. It was really spectacular. And your contribution has made this event a resounding success and have inspired, I think, all of us. So we're really pleased to present you with your electronic certificate as a token of appreciation for your spectacular or outstanding contribution to this event. Actually, your insights and expertise were really, really invaluable in making this session a success. So thank you very much indeed, Dr. Tesfaye Habtemariam and Tsigereda Nigussie for your invaluable presentation. So we're going to provide you with your certificate attached to this message. And thank you once again for your dedication, and we look forward to your future collaboration. I'm also indebted to express my deep gratitude to the American Embassy and RELO East Africa, Addis Ababa, for your unwavering support and collaboration. We are particularly excited about the 6-month collaborative agreement we've established with this institution, which actually includes 3 webinars that we're going to continue. This is our first webinar, and we're going to have 2 more webinars. And after the 3 webinars, we're going to have 3 face-to-face chapter launches across Ethiopia. This partnership with the Ethiopian English Language Professionals Association is a significant step forward in advancing English language education in our country, Ethiopia. So the American Embassy and the RELO East Africa, your commitment to this case is truly commendable, and we look forward to the impactful work we will achieve together. So because our participants, those who have been with us, ignoring a number of things, living a number of things, thank you for your active engagement throughout the session. Your involvement has greatly enriched our discussions, and we appreciate your dedication. Hopefully, Nabil will soon share a link where the participants or you can download your participation certificate by filling out a brief survey. When you are done with the brief survey, you can automatically get the certificate, or you will have an email, and then you can download the certificate by filling your name in the active part of the certificate. And your feedback is actually essential for us to continue improving our programs and the next 2 more webinars and ensuring they meet your needs. Thank you once again to everyone involved.